All right, today we're going to get into something really fascinating, the hidden power of silence. We're going to explore why saying less can actually mean you're thinking more, and how being the quiet one in the room might just be a sign of a seriously powerful mind at work.
I mean, think about it for a second. Have you ever noticed this? You're in a meeting, at a dinner party, wherever, and the person who ends up having the most brilliant insight is often the one who's been the quietest the whole time. It's kind of weird, right? So, what's going on there?
Well, to get to the bottom of it, we first have to unpack what we can call the quiet person puzzle. It's this dynamic that plays out all the time in groups, but we rarely, if ever, stop to really think about what's happening beneath the surface.
You know exactly who I'm talking about, right? You can picture it. The conversation's buzzing, people are throwing ideas back and forth, and then there's that one person, just listening, taking it all in. And what's our first thought? Usually it's not great. We think, man, are they bored? Are they super shy? Or maybe they just have nothing to add.
But what if we've got it all wrong? I mean, completely backward. What if that quiet isn't a weakness or a sign of emptiness, but an actual intellectual superpower?
So let's just put the myth right out on the table. The standard assumption is that silence equals a blank slate. You know, an empty mind. There's nothing going in, so nothing's coming out.
But the reality? Oh, it is a whole different story. That silence isn't empty space at all. It's the exact opposite. Their mind is running at full speed, actively observing and processing every little thing that's happening.
This is something we can call active observation. And no, it's not just about sitting there quietly. It's this incredible skill of absorbing information on so many different levels at once. You know, think of it like a detective at a crime scene. They're not just listening to what people are saying. They're noticing the tiny flicker of an eye, the hesitation in someone's voice. They're piecing together the whole story, including the parts that are never spoken out loud.
So what does this deeper level of listening actually look like inside their head? Okay, think about it this way. Their mind isn't just a microphone that's recording the audio. It's more like a super powerful computer running complex analytics on everything, all in real time.
So while most of us are just busy trying to hear the words, the active observer is doing all of this at the same time. They're hearing the words, sure, but they're also analyzing the tone of voice for what's really being said. They're reading the emotional currents in the room. And they're constantly stress testing the logic of every single argument. It's a full 360-degree analysis of the entire conversation.
And you know, this intense way of processing information, it totally explains why these folks often can't stand small talk. It's not because they're rude or antisocial. It's just a mismatch. It's like having a supercomputer and only being asked to do basic addition.
See, small talk. You know, chatting about the weather or weekend plans. It's all on the surface. There's just not enough data there to really engage their powerful mental engine. What they crave is deep conversation. The stuff that weaves together logic and emotion and complicated ideas. That's the kind of complex puzzle their mind was built to solve.
So what all this really means is that we have to start seeing silence in a completely new light. It's not an empty void that needs to be filled with noise. It's actually a workspace, a space where some incredible thinking and processing is happening.
Because think about it, when that quiet observer finally decides to speak, it's not just some random thought. It's this perfectly synthesized insight built from all the data they've been collecting. The words, the tone, the emotions, the logic. Their contribution lands with so much weight because it's been so deeply considered.
So this really leaves us with a challenge, doesn't it? The next time you're in a group, in a meeting, wherever, are you going to automatically focus on the loudest person talking, or are you going to look for the quietest, most observant mind in the room? Because honestly, your answer to that could change absolutely everything you learn.